To just be out here in the sunshine again today.
I think the sun inherently puts smiles on everyone's faces, and it's something that obviously we haven't seen for more reasons than just the sun. We've been training indoors, but it's been a blessing to be out in the sun and get that vitamin D and the feel-good factor in a beautiful stadium. So the vibes are in a good way.
That's good to hear. And then as far as like the guys that you'll have available for tomorrow, we saw some of the guys back out here. Marcelo, Brian Oviedo looked like he was kind of going a little bit too. Who are you looking at hopefully having back tomorrow night?
Definitely Marcelo. I think Oviedo's a week away. Trained I think twice this week.
Gotcha.
So just want to make sure Bodie will be back as well, which is a great sign for the group. And so as the sun comes out, we're getting healthier, and a good result tomorrow will get us moving in the right direction.
Sure.
What's the number one thing that stands out about the Charlotte team coming in?
I think their mobility in the attack. I think they're a really dynamic team. They work really hard on the press. They pick up a lot of balls in the attacking third. But really, they have playmakers. Kopetti, Swarovski, I don't even know how to say his name, and Vargas are really dynamic players that make the difference. But I think as a collective, they're a really get-after-it team, well-disciplined. And tomorrow will be about, I think, the team that makes the most plays.
And then, I just noticed you were chatting a little bit with Gomez there after practice a little bit. He's someone that obviously there are high expectations for coming in. Hasn't been able to find the score sheet yet. What are just those conversations that you're having with him, I guess, and maybe the role that you're looking for him to
I guess what I'd say about Andres is I think the expectations that we have for him, that I have for him, I'll speak for myself. It's a year out. And so when you spend a lot of money on a player, you just assume that he's going to be the finished product now. It's the first time he's been alone. It's the first time he's moved out of Colombia. And so that part of his life isn't even settled yet. And so if the expectations are that he's going to come here and be a finished product at 21 years old, I think is a bit not negligent, but it's not realistic. And so the things that I'm talking about him now are things that we've talked about, but want to emphasize is that there's got to be two movements in the wide positions in order to get on the ball. And the key to all those movements is when the ball's being delivered from one player, and the cue for him is always going to be the outside back or wing back or however we're playing. And he's taking his cue off that. So for him and a lot of young players, soccer is very reactionary. So the player gets it, now what do I do? The sophisticated player and the players at the higher level are 2 plays ahead. So when the ball's there, I know it's going there. My first action is when the ball's on its way. The second action is when he receives the ball. And so that you can communicate non-verbally, because again, the communication doesn't speak English. So how do you communicate? It's got to be non-verbals, and so it's got to be repetitive actions. And so those are things that I'm working through with him to make sure that he's got a grasp on. And if he does it once tomorrow, huge success. While others might judge if he scores, it's a huge success. I know this is a process, and so every little step we take for me is like your kid going from crawling to taking 2 steps and standing up, and a parent applauds.
Yep.
But no one expects that kid to start jumping over hoops, jumping over hurdles, or climbing walls. Same process here. But now we're playing football instead of life.
And then lastly for me,